how much better is the redesigned Magic Keyboard that supports the M4 iPad Pro compared to the previous version that cost the same amount that supported all the iPad Pros all the way back to 2018? Well, in this video, we're gonna dig deep and compare every little difference between the two to see if the new one is worth it. So let's get it out of the box, and already I'm seeing a difference on the back, which is very quite interesting. I'm excited to get this thing out. Take a look. All right, wow, this thing feels really, really light. Ooh, let's open this up, remove this little box. Whoa, look at that, guys. That is completely different. Let me get this old iPad Pro out of the way. Whoa, I am noticing a massive difference right here. You guys will probably notice this from the top cam or from the side, but Apple has completely changed the angle at how this opens. You can see how close the iPad Pro is with the old Magic Keyboard, even though I've lined up the keyboard sections right here so they're even, but this one sits so much farther back, and this whole thing just has a completely different angle. So now, this is probably why Apple was able to add this function row at the top, which is a huge reason for why it feels more like a laptop. Now, that was the biggest complaint from so many people, that the old Magic Keyboard was very expensive and it didn't have a top function row, including the very important escape key. Now, Max just made a very good point about why the angles have changed here with the new Magic Keyboard. Basically, with the old one, because the iPad Pros were a lot heavier, there would be too much top mass. It would be too top heavy, so sometimes you would tap it, and if it was any more of an angle, it would basically just tip over, which also seems like it is a bigger deal like this, just tapping on it. So what Apple did was they brought aluminum to the bottom portion, basically adding more weight to the bottom while making the top thinner, which you can actually feel and see from the side. That way it's more balanced. And of course, the new M4 iPad Pro is a lot lighter in terms of the weight, so that is how they were able to achieve this new angle. Now, before I bring in the iPads and I talk about the total weight between the two, as well as getting into the keyboards, the trackpads, the difference in feel with the aluminum versus the old material, I do want to take a look at the hinges and what Apple has changed there. But first, I want to show you guys this. The weekend sneaker from our sponsor, Vessi. My current go-to for going anywhere, no matter if it's casual or a fancy night out, thanks to its stylish and comfortable design, as well as Vessi's famous Dymatex material, which makes them waterproof just in case you run into some rain or some of that annoying wet spring grass. And they also just came out with their new Westerly jacket, which is perfect for this time of year because it's very lightweight, breathable, and ultra comfortable no matter if it's sunny or rainy, since yes, it's also waterproof. And I love the snap closure, which tops off the clean and simple design. Together, the weekend sneaker and Westerly jacket make for the perfect combo to tackle urban challenges and weather transitions, all while staying comfortable and stylish. So go ahead and order them today by using the link in the description below to go to vessi.com/maxtech to get an instant 15% off your first order at checkout. Now, another secret to how Apple was able to achieve that is they completely redesigned the hinge. As you can see on the back here, they wrapped the whole thing with this rubber material, whereas with the new one, this is a nice solid aluminum piece right here, which feels so much more premium and looks it as well. But if you take a close look at how this opens up, you can see that this hinge itself actually does not move at all. So it's basically a cylinder. It doesn't move, just this top piece moves with the inner hinge. But when you look at the new hinge design, it's no longer a perfect cylinder and now has this kind of rounded rectangular shape, which when you open it, you can see that the entire thing moves, which is actually giving it a little bit more space, pushing the iPad further back. And then the last thing I do want to mention is that Apple has confirmed that the pass-through charging that happens through the USB-C port and then of course through these little pins, the smart connector, the pass-through charging is now a lot faster. It's about 60 watts or over 60 watts compared to only around 20 watts. And now let's bring the iPads back, plop them right here on the keyboard, and here you can see why Apple wasn't able to add a function row. Literally, if you tried to hit those buttons, if they were there, you'd be hitting the iPad Pro all the time. But with the new one, you can see with that new angle, bam, look at that. You have all that extra space right there for the function row. Now, one awesome thing that I noticed is that it's no longer fully white with this kind of cheap feeling rubber plastic with the white keys. You now have the silver aluminum, which feels so much more like a MacBook, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a contrast from the keys. It just makes it feel and look a lot more premium. So this is a very interesting kind of detail to see. However, I do want to test out the black version of the keyboard, which I have right here, which perfectly matches the space black M4 iPad Pro. So let me unbox this. So here I have the new space black Magic Keyboard, and just looking at it, it doesn't look as different or unique as the white version because you have the white keys and the silver aluminum, but the feel is just amazing on the aluminum compared to the old black Magic Keyboard, which definitely you can see that there's little scuffs on it, little scratches. It's definitely easier to keep the aluminum version clean. And man, this is just such a nice, sleek, high quality design. And not only did they add the function keys, which are so important, but if you take a close look, or I mean just a general look, the trackpad is massive. It is so much bigger than the old one, which was really limiting, honestly. Look at this. This feels like legit the size of a MacBook Air trackpad. This is so nice. And not only is the new one bigger, but they're both glass. However, if you look at the old Magic Keyboard, it almost looks and feels kind of like a toy because behind the glass, you have that same white rubber material, so it looks like a toy, whereas with the new one, it looks serious. It looks like a MacBook. It looks so much more premium. You have all this metal, the silver metal, which already gives you that MacBook feeling, but the trackpad itself, it looks like a real Magic trackpad. And the benefit of having the aluminum chassis or design is that they actually put in a real Force Touch trackpad that doesn't actually move, but it has haptic feedback to simulate a click, exactly what you get with a MacBook Air, whereas the old one, you could even hear it. You can hear how loud it is because it's physically clicking with this kind of floating design. Doesn't have any haptic feedback, nothing. It's actually clicking. This is completely silent and it fools you. It makes you feel like you're using a MacBook. So as far as the trackpads, it's a world of a difference. And now let's get into the actual keyboards. Now the old keys on the Magic Keyboard have always felt really nice, not quite like a MacBook. It's definitely a little bit more mushy. Doesn't feel like it has as much travel as the MacBook keyboards. And now, whoa, moving over to the new one, this feels different. Okay, wait a second. If I tap on this one, it feels like I almost have to give more pressure or more effort to complete a full click, whereas this one feels like it's more easygoing. It doesn't require as much force, which feels a lot more comfortable. It feels like you don't have to push as hard. Here, you're like kind of mashing, and you could almost like get a little bit fatigued. I mean, probably not. I mean, you're just clicking keys, but yeah, the new one definitely feels better, a lot better than the old one. But the best part about the new Magic Keyboard is actually the function key. So if you look over here, I can change my brightness. Dang, that gets bright on the M4 iPad Pro. Change the brightness. I can go to my app switcher right here. Oh, that's super smooth. I can do spotlight search, put it up, take it away. Man, the shortcuts here. Bam, open up dictation, just like that. Do not disturb button. I have my media controls. I have my volume, mute, raise the oh man, this is so nice. And then finally, the lock button. But with the old one, if you want to do any of those things that I just mentioned with the new Magic Keyboard, you have to raise your hands up off of the keyboard, then go touch the iPad, turn on your focus mode, do not disturb, change your brightness, your media controls, whatever. You don't have access from the keyboard itself, which basically takes more kind of movements compared to just having that MacBook full feel using just the keyboard itself. And wait a minute, I just noticed something. The new Magic Keyboard actually allows you to kind of face the iPad Pro more towards your face and kind of bend backwards at a better angle, whereas with the old one, I always remember trying to push it back more because it wasn't angled enough for my liking. So I always try to push it back, it doesn't go. This one allows the angle to be better. Apple, thank you so much for making that change. It feels so much nicer, but I am curious, what if that new angle is going to make it more top heavy? Well, let's actually try it. All right, let me grab the old Magic Keyboard, put it on my lap here, and wow, look at that. It's already like wobbling, and I have my knees at like a higher angle than I usually would, but I'm typing on my lap, and it's already kind of wobbling around, and I could feel like it's almost just gonna fall back. Definitely just a wobbly experience. Let's put this one back. Let's grab the new one. Whoa, this feels nice. And here, let's see. I almost feel like it might be more top heavy. Just doing the same kind of thing that I did before, it does feel a little bit more top heavy. So if you like to actually use it on your lap like this could be a little bit more of a downside for you. Comparing the actual thickness, you can see that the new Magic Keyboard with the new iPad Pro is quite a lot thinner, especially considering that Apple packed in the M4 chip with all of that performance, and the overall package is so thin. And a lot of people were saying the new iPad Pro is way too thin, basically 5.1 millimeters. Apple's crazy, it's gonna bend like crazy. Well, I almost feel like Apple wants you to buy the iPad Pro that's super thin and package it with the Magic Keyboard together to protect it, to stop it from bending. So it's almost like this weird conspiracy to get you to buy this new Magic Keyboard. And if we grab the MacBook Air, the new setup with the Magic Keyboard is finally around the same thickness, which is so nice. And in terms of the actual weight, with the old 12.9-inch iPad Pro with the Magic Keyboard, it was 3.1 pounds. So it was quite a bit heavier than the MacBook Air, which is 2.74, but the brand new Magic Keyboard with the new iPad Pro, 2.75. So it's essentially now matching the weight and the thickness of the MacBook Air. I wonder if that's Apple's goal. Well, they definitely achieved it because it's the same weight. And now, with all of that said and tested, let's finish off with the original question. Is it worth upgrading to the brand new Magic Keyboard, which does require you to get the M4 iPad Pro? Well, in reality, this Magic Keyboard has supported every iPad Pro since the 2018 model, so there are a lot of people that are using it with that 2018 model that's been out for basically 6 years. And that right there is actually a very good point for the new one, because Apple just updated this Magic Keyboard, which means likely for 4, 5, 6 years, there will not be a new Magic Keyboard. So if you upgrade now, that's actually a pretty good idea, especially seeing as the M4 iPad Pro is basically fully loaded with as much performance as you'll ever need. It's probably thinner than it will ever get. I can't see Apple making it thinner. They've fixed the landscape camera. Basically, this is a perfected iPad. So if you're upgrading to the M4 iPad Pro, you're good for many, many years. And along with that, your Magic Keyboard will be good for so many years, especially now that it's fully redesigned. And not only that, but you actually get a lot of utility. You get the faster pass-through charging. You get a real Magic Trackpad with haptic feedback. You get the function row, which was one of the reasons why some people didn't even buy the Magic Keyboard. Basically, everything is solved and perfected with this package, including the weight and the thickness. So with that said, I don't think you could go wrong by upgrading to this new setup, assuming you have the funds and the desire to upgrade. This is just on a whole nother level. It feels so nice, and I think it's definitely worth upgrading to. So with that said, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and click the button above to subscribe because we have a lot of in-depth M4 iPad Pro videos coming up very soon. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.